Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now I'm going to try to speed this up a little bit because I got a lot of little points. But we're going to talk about Deontay Wilder, right? Deontay Wilder right now to me is in a win-win situation. He seems to be sitting back, waiting, mediating, litigating, all those agents, right? In a win-win situation to me. This is how I feel about Deontay Wilder. But you guys know I'm gonna say this up front. Deontay Wilder's career is worthy of a movie, and a damn good one. And I've been saying that damn near 2.5 years, right? It is. You could end the movie after he beats the main Stavern the first time, right? Come from nothing, 19-year-old. His daughter's sick, starts boxing, gets a medals after 18 months of boxing. And goes to Olympics and medals when America didn't have nobody, right? And then knocks out everybody 40 in a row, becomes champion, and then after that, shoot, whatever else is cream. So as far as I'm concerned, the Deontay Wilder situation right now is win-win. I didn't want to talk about Deontay Wilder lately because of the simple fact he's not fighting. And for me, I don't care if he fights. I don't care if he ever fights again. I said that. For me, it's a little bit more justice. I would like to see more things going on with Tyson Fury and these gloves. That's more important to me than fighting. That's just me. Because if something like that were to happen, you have to get closure and clarity. That's my point. So, bottom line is, Deontay Wilder could retire. And I think he's a Hall of Famer right now. So he could retire, right? Now, while I'm there, I might as well say this about Terrence Crawford, too. Terrence Crawford's a Hall of Famer now, too, right? Like I know, because we got Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, and Errol Spence is the A side and this and that. But Terrence Crawford's #1 pound, Hall of Famer, and he's been undisputed, seeking to be the undisputed in the second division. Those are a lot of accolades. When it comes to Spence, Spence is, we say he's skilled, but we really haven't seen his skill because Spence is still big. He's bigger than everybody he's fighting. So he's in one division, and he's big. When we start talking Hall of Fame for Spence is after he does something at 154, maybe even 160 pounds, right? But, first he would probably have to clean out this welterweight division, and then we could probably talk Hall of Fame for him. So there's something I just wanted to say. Deontay Wilder's Hall of Fame. So, here's a few scenarios why I say he has a win-win situation, Deontay Wilder, right now, right? Right now, we're going through mediations, I think, still, and Deontay Wilder could possibly stop the Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury fight. He could probably stop that, right? Now, that's an option. That's something that could still happen. That's a win situation, right? Now, he could also get 8 figures to step aside. Now, we've heard 12 million, we heard over 30 million, we've heard 40 million. All of that's 8 figures. That's cool too, if that happens. Wouldn't be what I would personally want as a fan. But shoot, if he gets 8 figures, especially 40 million for not fighting, you can't hate on that. That's a win situation, right? If he wins this mediation or the litigation when it goes to that, he could possibly get the WBC belt back. Because if Tyson Fury refuses to fight him, which he said he is. Tyson Fury said he insulted me. Tyson Fury, the man who insults everybody, says Deontay Wilder insulted me, so I don't want to fight him. So if they say you have to, then Tyson Fury can get stripped and Deontay Wilder gets the belt back. That's also a good scenario. Another good scenario is, hey, Tyson Fury can have a change of mind, change of heart, and just say, you know what, I'm going to fight him. I'm sick of him talking. I'm going to fight this dude, right? I'm going to get him up out of the way, right? That's a good scenario. Here's my favorite scenario. Deontay Wilder don't give a damn about nothing except suing Tyson Fury, getting to the bottom of those gloves, right? And other stuff. That's what I would really want. That's why I don't really, the boxing part, because here's the deal. Something of that magnitude, of what's being alleged, we're talking about gloves in 2 different, cases. We're talking about a whole lot of stuff, which I'll get to in a minute. Those are really huge things, allegations. So let's get to the bottom of it. No matter what happens, I'd rather that be in the forefront and not Deontay Wilder is trying to get a fight with him. But I will say this. Deontay Wilder wants a fight with Tyson Fury because that's the only place he can do what he's trying to do to Fury legally. That's what that's all about. But I still would rather him sue the man and find out what's went on there, force people to investigate. But it's probably not no lawyers out there right now, because all the lawyers are in the courts right now trying to figure out, with these insurrectionists. Yeah, there's so many of them that lawyers ain't got no time right now for something that's going on with boxing. But anyway, that's another story. Now, here's something that's also positive. It's a win-win situation. This has been all close to a year, and there's been no worry. He has not to worry at all about a defamation of character lawsuit, right? Think about that. You say that Tyson Fury cheated with these gloves, and Tyson Fury is not suing him. Now, Tyson Fury said he ain't gonna sue him, right? Right? But my point about that is, I know Deontay Wilder's not worried about that. With something that huge, when everybody knows about it, Tyson Fury would sue him, right? Defamation of character, man. You could listen. You see these voting booths, those voting machines. Everybody was saying wasn't working. Well, Republicans and conservatives, they wasn't working, and the election was wrong. They got a 1.5 million lawsuit going against Giuliani and others that have been saying that because of defamation of character, right? That's bottom line. When you've been saying something that's not true, hey, we gonna sue you, right? But the issue with Tyson Fury is this: it wouldn't be only suing Deontay Wilder. You would have to be suing sparring partners that have said the same thing. You would have to sue John McDermott, who has said the same thing about your second fight with him. You did the exact same thing. You would have to sue Martin Carefoot, who said he didn't give you wild boar for your first negative dope test or positive dope test with nandrolone. An old 70-year-old guy, the farmer, they said they got it because of wild boar, and the farmer said, I didn't give him, I don't even have wild boar. That's another guy. So you'd be suing pretty much everybody, right? Plus, you got that mafia dude, I ain't gonna say his name, Daniel, whatever, we ain't gonna leave it at that, that was in your group that secured the Anthony Joshua fight, right? A dude in the mafia, basically, is what they're saying. He secured the Anthony Joshua fight, and Tyson Fury told him thanks on Instagram or Twitter or something. So, those are things why, I know Deontay Wilder's not worrying about defamation of character, because it would have happened already, right? Now, another positive thing is Tyson Fury could be found guilty of this and get a very, very long ban, right? Probably lifetime if this turns out to be true, especially with his history, right? We're talking about the referee who found the gloves out on Christian Hammer fight. Anybody that's upset at me because you know how you do, you're one of the 75 million that voted for a criminal or something, or understand them, right? Or you're somebody from England or something. Well, you guys, right? If you're found guilty, then he's found guilty, right? You have to get with everybody who said something about it. You have to get to that, like I was saying, John McDermott and all of them, and the referee who found the gloves at the beginning of the Christian Hammer fight. So take the time to watch just the beginning of the Christian Hammer fight and see how disgusted he was. Then with Eddie Cotton, rest in peace, saying that Tyson Fury is the worst guy he's ever had to referee, right? The worst. Think about that. Now, here's another positive, but positive for everybody. Tyson Fury could be totally exonerated, right? They go through everything, they look at all the pictures, all the evidence, and they say, man, no proof here, right? And he's exonerated. Now, I wouldn't be happy about that, right? I wouldn't be, but I would be happy about the fact that we can move on. We could just move on, right? We can move on. That's the thing. Now, those are some of the things. Now, y'all know how I feel about Deontay Wilder. I don't care if he fights again or not, because I lived through the movie. It was a damn good one. I lived through it. I had nothing against the man. I watched the young guys start knocking people out, and I started wondering, damn, right? And just watching him knock people out. I've seen him want to become undisputed as bad as he did everything he possibly could. I seen him say, well, shoot, I can't get this guy who everybody's Anthony Joshua. Everybody's saying he was better than me. I tried to get him. So everybody said everybody was scared of Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, and nobody fought him. I fought him even though he wasn't in my sanctioning body twice, right? And then I tried to get this dude they was saying the lineal champion was laying on the couch. I went and got him. And at every turn, I've kept my word. He is the one that keeps going and fighting other people and not doing what the breach of contract. It's never me. I've seen all of that. So that can never be taken away, right? This dude is all that, right? And so my question to some of you guys is, through the road with Deontay Wilder, hey, ask yourself why you do, right? And you'll come up with some plus situations yourself. Why you roll with Deontay Wilder? I don't have to say that because I've been accused of being a Deontay Wilder fanboy, and it don't be accused. I am one. If you're a fan of somebody, I'm a Deontay Wilder fanboy, Hakeem Olajuwon fanboy, Monica Seles fanboy, Roger Federer fanboy. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a fanboy. And to be proud as hell. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen what I've seen. Right? But see, Deontay Wilder is also a member of the Negro Leagues. Right? Those Negro League fighters always talk about Deontay Wilder, Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, Demetrius Andrade, the Charlos, Devin Haney, Terrence Crawford, Guillermo Rigondeaux. These are fighters where, you know, they don't get the opportunity to become great. And the industry does everything to not give them the opportunity. All of them. Right? And in every case, no one wants to see them fight anybody unless the other dude's a Negro too. Right? Never. They never want to see them fight anybody. Right now with Deontay Wilder, they don't want to see the third fight. Right? Demetrius Andrade, they don't want to see him fight Golovkin or Canelo. The same with Jamal. Jamal Charlo, not no Golovkin or Canelo. Right? Rigondeaux can't fight Inoue. Right? Devin Haney can't fight Teofimo Lopez or Ryan Garcia. Can't, even though it's an undisputed fight and the other one is his mandatory. Right? Back to Demetrius Andrade. He can't fight, his mandatory is Jaime Munguia. Nobody's forcing Munguia to fight him. Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, nobody said nothing about Tyson Fury or nothing. Even though there's another brother they want to see him fight is Dillian White. But all of these people can't get fights. And there's no one ever clamoring for them. And that's what I mean by Negro Leagues. We knew that them dudes that was playing baseball in the Negro Leagues was just as good as them other ones. But they wasn't going to get the opportunity to prove it in those leagues. That's what these people are. That's what Deontay Wilder is. Think about this. No one really wants to see him fight Tyson Fury the third time, even though he has a contract, even though he's been there and he's never breached his contract one time, and Tyson Fury continues to do it. He's bigger than him, 50 pounds heavier than him, but they don't want to see that fight, right? Just like the rest of the fights. So yes, Deontay Wilder's in a win-win situation as far as I'm concerned. There's really nothing that in any scenario here that would be bad for him. Nothing. Nothing. He could just call right now and say, hey, you know what? The dent in my head is, they say I shouldn't box anymore, and I'm not. Right? After he pick up some money, don't tell them, and pick up that money and then go on and retire. Who would care? We seen something awesome already. Right? Let's see what happens going forward. I just thought that was very important to make sure people know, Wilder probably ain't talking. I wish he shouldn't until he's in court. As well. Next time I see him, I wouldn't mind seeing him in a suit somewhere talking about we in court. But if he is going to fight, cool for that too, whatever. But the bottom line, his situation is win-win. Period. Doma Sports Talk, worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.